Artist on God of War Ragnarok.
Gameplay animator in God of War Ragnarok. You make them move, you give them personalities, you give them weight.
Put the power behind a move. You are in control of fire and earth and water and wind. Whether you are throwing your axe or on the receiving end of an enemy spell, VFX
and the tech art team.
That makes players lean forward and focus and really try hard against that enemy and feel good about overcoming that, but we don't want to make them feel defeated if they can't figure something out. We cry out for more mini bosses, bigger creatures, and enemy variety, and this time we really leaned into that. So in God of War Ragnarok, you're going to be traveling to all 9 realms, and each realm is going to have like its own. In Alfheim, we're familiar with the Dark Elves, but this time around we're going to be fighting Light Elves, such as the Light Elf Warrior. You don't have to think about the camera and how close combat is going to feel. We already have that knowledge, so we can build upon the close camera that we have. Interesting scenarios. In the last game, Atreus was just starting to fight alongside Kratos, and he was learning from the master tactician.
Atreus was still a kid, right? So he has a lot of dependency on his father, and Atreus moving more independently on his own as a companion.
I think what the players really love is the powerfulness of it. When you are playing as Kratos and moving into Ragnarok, we want to really make something bigger, make it stronger, make it more of a spectacle. You want them to be like, oh my gosh. Access
to newer combos and newer abilities that will increase the combat depth of each weapon. From previous God of Wars is the combat grapple, and we're going to be bringing that with a new twist.
That brings so much more speed into the movement and the dynamic feel to it.
A choice to the shield loadout.
Go for a shield that gears towards parrying. If you're a big blocker, then you could choose a shield that will really match your playstyle.
The stun meter this time around is going to lead to different ways to basically decapitate the enemy.
I'm down on him.
Super engaging, and as Kratos, now that you can also take advantage of that verticality, I think it just adds such another interesting layer to a fight.
In God of War Ragnarok, we've enhanced the Kratos and Atreus duo.
You'll see Atreus leverage the fact that he's older now, he's bigger now, has a different flavor.
Inside together, there are also a lot of mini games and like the puzzle systems and the set pieces. You definitely will see a lot.
Odin must have said that.
You basically iterate and iterate and iterate, and it takes testing and just seeing what works to really figure out the personality of something. Basically, every department gives it spectacular. Times that I would look back at God of War games just through the ages before 2018. There were so many amazing, huge boss fights and set pieces that it was a huge inspiration on this project.
For the old father!
Are like chess, and focusing on the chess pieces. Each piece has its own theme and its own use.
Is the player.
Or we'll add the different rings, such as what we did in the last game, that lets you know that this attack is unblockable, you need to dodge it.
Everything you design has to be surrounded.
Experience the diversity of enemies that this game has to offer. You will be fighting everything from small little creatures, the entire screen.
I think each one looks so much different from the next one, and each of them have their own play styles and their own little fantasies that go into it. And so you'll be very interested to see how Sony Santa Monica has taken some of these creatures and interpreted them for God of War.
Motion behind it and intent behind it, and by the time it gets to you, everything's been sweated over, bled over, tested.